This video is about the various propellants for gas airsoft pistols, that ranging from 134A, green gas, propane, and CO2. I'm skipping red gas because I'm not really familiar with it, and I think that anyone that would use red gas would probably just use CO2 as it's more available. Starting 134A. It's generally low pressure. It is kind of like a can of air duster, only it has a lubricant in it, and it's for very low FPS guns. Some guns are designed for that. Some people use it for tournaments, regulations, and such. You can use it in your green gas magazines because your green gas magazines are designed for higher pressure gas. It won't damage it, and it'll make your gun shoot really low. For specialized circumstances, when you need to shoot, like at an indoor playing field, something of that nature. Now, that's probably not going to be common for many people. So, moving on to where I think the majority of people are going to need the information. Green gas. Advantages: it has the terrible smell removed from propane. Essentially, it is just propane, except it's got the lubricant in suspension, and it's often in much handier containers, like smaller cans, so that you can carry them around more effectively. They have the fill valves attached to the can. You don't have to have a separate adapter. Now, they are considerably more expensive for cans of green gas. When you're using propane, you spend like $2.50 on a gigantic can, and that lasts absolutely forever. But you do have to spend about $20 on an adapter or so, and spend money on silicone oil. So overall, in the long run, you do save a lot of money by using propane. Now, if you're not familiar with the adapters or any of that stuff, it can be a little bit frustrating. So if you're just getting into gas pistols, or if you don't use yours very much, like if you're a scenario player or something and you just like it to be on your vest or something, or your chest rig, whatever you want to call it, you might find green gas to be appropriate. Maybe you're one of those people, you fill it up just in case, and then at the end of the day you unload the pistol and you're like, I didn't even use it anyway. So it just depends on what's worth it to you. Propane has a high upfront cost, really low long term. Green gas is expensive all the time. So CO2. There are two methods of applying CO2 to your pistol. The first one is not recommended. The second one is actually designed by your manufacturer. So the first one that's not recommended by me anyway is to take a 20-ounce CO2 tank or so, whatever size, doesn't matter, for a paintball gun or whatever, and buy the CO2 adapter for airsoft green gas magazines. Now, that puts a lot of stress on your green gas magazine, and you probably don't want to do that. It might swell the sides of it and it won't be able to fit in your gun anymore. Second design, or second way of doing it, is a magazine that will accept 12-gram CO2 cartridges. They're moderately expensive. Now, I think I figured it up, and it's something like 50 cents per cartridge. And when you think about it, yeah, you might fill your magazine up about 3 times, but once you've punctured the cartridge, it's pretty much spent. You're going to have to undo that and lose a lot of gas, and it's going to be wasteful. So let's just say the highest cost would be CO2, because the cartridges are, once they're punctured, useless. You have to keep using them over and over. They're expensive, and they do create a lot of waste. At least the propane tanks can be refilled. That having been said, applications are just as important as knowing what the gas is for and when it is more or less expensive. There are a lot of guns now that are designed strictly for CO2, strictly for green gas. I haven't seen very many for 134A, but there are some now that can use either CO2 or green gas, and it's designed that way straight from the manufacturer. You don't have to do any modding required. Let's use in this example my 1911. It has a magazine for green gas and one for CO2. Would I ever use CO2 in my pistol? Rarely. And by that I mean, I would only use CO2 in my pistol in the winter when the gas won't decompress properly because it's cold and gases are subject to thermal expansion and all that good crap. So in the winter, when your propane won't decompress right and you still need to shoot your gun, CO2 is the way to go. Otherwise, CO2 is far too dry and far too high pressure to really use in a gun that's mainly designed for propane or green gas. If you are one of those people who think your gun needs to shoot harder, consider modifying your gun instead of just switching propellants, because you can seriously damage your equipment that way. And now that we've generally established some ideas on the gases, what they are, and how they can be used, there's a lot of information on the internet about this stuff. I know that that's how you found this video. So hopefully you've got a good idea of what's out there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.